By then, when you go to a shop and you go and buy something and you say you want to do transfer, if this thing is implemented, I'll tell you what will happen. You say you want to do transfer, they will tell you to add tax. You see the person say add 20%. So if you are buying something, you are not just paying for what you are buying, you see add tax, because the person know that the money is entering his account or her account, they will go to tax that money. As money is circulating, it will start to diminish to the government. Imagine you have 100,000 naira, you understand, and you have already meet up the 800,000 threshold, and you transfer that money to another person, they remove 20% or 15%, you transfer again, that one transfer. That's how the money will be. The more it gets, it begin to transfer, the more it begin to diminish. So if this law is implemented, there will be high rate of poverty. It's then we will not be hearing people who say there's this app you will download, and once you start collecting money through that app, you are going to you will not be taxed. That money will not be taxed. People will go and download. Before you know, it will become a fraud app. I want to talk about the new tax law reform bill. Now, that bill is to start effective from January. Understand? Now, this is what I feel. In case the bill finally works out, you understand? This is what is just going to happen. First of all, when Tinubu entered into power, you understand, after the election that was conducted, during his inauguration, if you can remember, during his inauguration, he has not even spent 24 hours. Like in the place of inauguration, he declared this when they gave him the mic to give a speech to Nigeria as the president after inauguration. The first thing he said was that there's no more fuel subsidy. So they removed fuel subsidy. What Nigerians were benefiting, the subsidy Nigeria, mind you, they have been reducing this fuel subsidy from beginning, which has led to increase in fuel price. He now finally remove fuel subsidy. And when he removed fuel subsidy, some people were backing that act up. That led to an increase in fuel price. Fuel now is now as if it's a private something. It means that this fuel, government is now the one mining the fuel from Nigeria land. And Nigerians, it's not subsidized for Nigerians. That is what it means. We are not benefiting from it in terms of, according to what the government said, oh, because there's no money in the treasury, they will use this to. But let me ask you one question. Since that day, go and check the loan Tinubu has taken since they brought that bill. It's even worse than the loan that Buhari took. Tinubu takes that loan in 2 years, as if there is no fuel subsidy that was removed. Go and check your own. You will only hear that, oh, IGR, which is the government revenue, has increased. Government revenue has increased. The people are suffering. Now, price of things has gone up. Now, they now brought a new one called the tax reform bill. There will be a problem if that bill is implemented. There will be a very big problem. That is the truth. But some people are not seeing it from that angle. That government is going to take 20% or 15%, like 15 to 20% of all the money that you earn for that year that enters your account. You understand? For that year, they are going to minus 800,000 and tax the rest. So if you are earning below 800,000, then you won't pay tax. If you are getting money, you understand, cash flow less than 800,000 in a year, you won't be taxed. But once it's above 800,000, you will be taxed 20% or 15% from the after minusing the 800,000 uh, from your account, from your expenditure. Then imagine, it is then you now be hearing how the government revenue has tripled, and at the end of the day, you won't see anything. Now, if you calm down, you notice, you discover that the price for these fees they are paying for these our universities has increased. Government universities has increased greatly, because why? There's some money that government is sending, like a subsidy, to subsidize the price of school fees. The government removed that one. Now they didn't just remove that one, they removed fuel subsidy. Now they want to bring a heavy tax. It means that the little thing that Nigeria is even benefiting from the government, that made price of things subsidized, Number one, we will not be saying those things again. And now we will not be giving the government. Do you know what is 20% of all the money? It means even gifts you are receiving, even you, that is how you, there is problem. Then imagine somebody that is doing this ajo that is holding people's money. You cannot even hold somebody's money for you again. You understand? Those people who have accounts in Nigeria and they are abroad, they will just go and open foreign account because they cannot save money again in Nigeria. You understand? Because it means that as money is circulating, it will start to diminish to the government. Imagine you have 100,000 naira. You understand? And you have already met up the 800,000 threshold, and you transfer that money to another person. They remove 20% or 15%. You transfer again. That one transfer. That is how the money will be. The more it gets, it begin to transfer. The more it begin to diminish. So if this law is implemented, there will be high rate of poverty. A high rate of poverty. You will see the governors, they will be large. In short, I know that this money they are gathering it for election. Me, I know it's for election purpose. But you will see that you understand, your governors every they will be large. Meanwhile, the people will be abjectly suffering. There will be high rate of poverty. Even the people who are wealthy, you understand, they will feel the pressure that's going to come via that law. That's why I say I don't see that law succeeding in Nigeria. Because this is the implication that will lead to a high rate of poverty. Now, with the current state in Nigeria, with the hardship, high level of fuel price and stuff like that, people are suffering now. You understand? Things are high currently. In transportation, there are some people where they are working, just transportation alone has eaten like 50% of their earnings alone. Some 30%. Transport has taken it. And there are some people that in their organization, they collect tax. Because all these organizations you see, if you are working in a big company, you pay tax. They used to collect tax from there. Then imagine you pay tax from there, and as you are transferring money, it's still being taxed. It's still being taxed. And even if you are doing you are not even working, maybe somebody you have a friend abroad or somebody that used to send you money. Once you reach that threshold, you start paying tax. You start paying tax, whether you are earning or not. You start paying tax. As far as you reach that 800,000 threshold, you understand? You start paying tax. You start paying tax. So imagine some money that doesn't even it's not money that is not enough for you. Yet you are paying tax. You understand? You are paying tax, but it's not enough for you. Just imagine. So the first thing that will happen is that there will be high rate of poverty. By then, when you go to a shop and you go and buy something and you say you want to do transfer, if this thing is implemented, I'll tell you what will happen. You say you want to do transfer, they will tell you to add tax. You see the person say add 20%. So if you are buying something, you are not just paying for what you are buying. You see add tax. Because the person know that the money is entering his account or her account, they will go to tax that money. You will now hear add tax, which will skyrocket the price of things. You understand? Or even though they didn't tell you add tax, they by themselves will add tax in everything. They will add, and trust those business people, they will not even add 20%. They might add 50%, which will lead to a far increase of goods and services. So there will be high rate of poverty if that task is being implemented. That is why I said I don't see the possibility of that task, you understand, being implemented next year. Because it's going to cause, I don't know whether they sit down and analyze the side effects of this task. You understand? There's going to be big side effects. But me personally, I don't see it even working. So I don't even bother myself. That is number one, high rate of poverty. Number two, that is going to happen is high rate of scam. Is then we will not be hearing people who say there's this app you will download, and once you start collecting money through that app, you are going to you will not be taxed. That money will not be taxed. People will go and download. Before you know, it will become a fraud app. There are going to be a high rate of scam apps, scam solutions that is going to take a lot of people's money. I'm telling you what's going to happen if that law is implemented. Many people will lose money. Many will lose money from scam app. You understand? They will tell you just put your money and you save your money. It will not be tasked. People will not try to use this method, and before you know it, you understand, they are going to lose money because those are scam apps that will take advantage of people. That will take advantage of people. So this law that they are bringing now, you understand, it will only increase crime in Nigeria. It will increase crime. How can you decide to tax everything that comes into people's accounts? There's no fuel subsidy. In short, the people are not even benefiting anything from the government. Look at insecurity. They are not even able to tackle insecurity currently that's going on. They are not able to tackle it. Light, you don't have steady light, except maybe you stay in confidential areas that they have special, you understand, special light there. When you stay in the normal area that normal middleman class stays, you don't see light. You light will come go. You can't even do anything tangible. Go to some of the states, look at the roads, especially those federal roads. Because you see the state government, they will tell you, oh, it's federal road. You see federal road, it's nothing to write home about. People are not literally benefiting. Some people will come and say, in America, in China, in this one, in UK, they are paying tax. Who told you they are not paying tax in Nigeria? Even if you go out and buy something, you are indirectly paying tax. Companies are paying tax. People that are working in the big companies, they are paying tax. Even people working in government, they are still paying tax. Even coppers are paying tax. And the people who are working labor work that they used to pay them in cash, you understand? So those money are not being tracked. Those people, indirectly, they are still paying tax when they go out to buy something that is taxed. You understand? And those countries you are even talking about, like America and the rest of them, go and check what the government does to the people. As a child, eh, in America or this European country, as a child, a citizen, they will pay you. There's even if you come from a poor background, there are some relief they are going to give to your parents for you because of you as a child, so that they will be able to take care of you. If you lost your job, you can apply for this their grant that is going to help you, that the government will create for you. You lost your job, okay, or you are a low income earner, take this. Monthly they will be giving you some stipends. If you are an old person, you understand, a retired person, they have old people's homes. You don't need to be stranded. Maybe you understand. They have old people's homes that the government create. Okay, stay there. Imagine those kind of environment, those kind of civilized and a controlled environment. They are telling you, Peter, you know that this money you are paying, you understand, is going to do a lot in you or in your family or in your children. Their life is secured at least. But not like places like Africa, where the African man he does everything by himself. He doesn't depend on government. That is why if you go to those countries, they cannot survive without the government, because they depend like 100% with the government on everything. They are subsidizing just their life is just centered on the government, because the government made it so. But here in Nigeria, every man to himself. So imagine this new tax law. They say, I don't see it working. There will be high rate of poverty and high rate of scam. Meanwhile, you hear the government, they will be telling you IGRO, the government revenue has increased by 5,000%. Meanwhile, people are suffering. Meanwhile, the poverty has increased. Go and check the poverty level in Nigeria and check it when they implement this tax law. Just check it. That is why when you see anybody supporting this tax law, the person doesn't know what he's saying. And if the person is somebody that eats from Tinubu's table, you understand, maybe it's minister, I just know, say all those ones. They eat from his table, so they can say that. But if it's not somebody that eats from his table saying this, the person don't know what he's saying.
Subscribe to Onika Jesus Boy YouTube channel.